I'm Jake Curley here with Service Stars, and today we're talking about tankless water heaters. We have our plumber Eric Cook. Come on over, Eric, and he's going to tell us a little bit about them. All right, Eric.
Good, how are you?
I'm very well.
Excellent.
What's your profession, Eric? What do you do?
I'm a plumber. In the plumbing trade for over 40 years.
Yeah, I heard you started from when you were around the age of 6.
Yep.
It's very interesting. It's a long time.
Started going with my father at 6.
So what kind of water heaters are there out there? Like, what can you buy as an average consumer?
You got tanked water heaters fueled by electric, oil, natural gas, and propane.
Yeah.
You've got tankless water heaters. You've got indirect water heaters. And then there are tankless coils and boilers that heat your domestic hot water also.
So a lot of options out there.
Definitely a lot of options.
All right. And what are the pros and cons of each of the different kinds of water heaters?
Pros to an electric water heater is they're the least expensive heater to buy, least expensive to install. The cons are they're the most expensive to operate, and the recovery time is really slow on them.
Yeah.
So generally, an electric water heater will be really big, just so you have a lot of stored water, and they're just really inefficient. From there, you go to a gas water heater, whether it's propane or natural gas. It's a great option. They heat the water pretty fast. They do it pretty economically. Depending on the house and the installation situation, venting them sometimes is an issue. If you have a chimney and you can vent it in the chimney, that's great. If you don't have a chimney, you have to go with more advanced gas water heaters that vent directly outside.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Then there's oil-fired water heaters. Same thing, you need a chimney for an oil-fired water heater. It is probably the most efficient way to make hot water. Certainly the best recovery rate. Oil burns at a much hotter temperature than gas does, so it heats the water much quicker. But then again, not every house is set up with a chimney where you can have one of those. And probably my least favorite of all water heaters is a tankless water heater. And there's nothing wrong with tankless water heaters. They're great, we install them, but they're just not for everybody. They've gotten a lot of press lately, and they've got a lot of disadvantages to them. One, you definitely need a gas source, whether it be propane or natural gas. The second thing is they only produce so much hot water. It's advertised as endless hot water, which is true, as long as it's not over a certain gallon per minute rating. So you can usually run a single shower, or a single shower on a faucet, or that kind of stuff. But
if you're running everything all at once, it might not.
You're not gonna run everything all at once.
Interesting.
Also, the volume, they only do so many gallons per minute. So if you had a big soaking tub, you're not going to fill a big soaking tub up with a tankless hot water. You can do it very slowly, but you're not going to fill it fast. The other thing, they're very susceptible to any minerals or anything in the water. Everything in water solidifies when it's heated, so they cook the water and the minerals and stuff solidify and become solid, and tankless water heaters have very small passages in them, so they clog up pretty easily. And that's about it.
All right, very interesting.
The water heaters. The tankless water heater. The indirect water heater is a great way to heat your hot water if you have a domestic hot water boiler. If you have a boiler providing heat to your house, we can put an indirect water heater in it, and it'll make great hot water really efficiently, and people love them. It's a big option when people go from a tankless coil in their boiler, which is very similar to a tankless water heater, except it uses a hot boiler water to heat a coil of pipe that provides domestic hot water for the house. And a lot of times those coils will fail.
Yeah.
So if they fail, putting an indirect water heater in is a great thing. We've got a video online of us putting an indirect in already, and they just make great hot water.
All right, very interesting. And so say you were to maintain a tankless water heater properly, how long would that kind of thing last?
Generally have about a 10-year life cycle on them, and that's with regular maintenance. That's something a lot of people don't realize either. Tankless water heaters need yearly maintenance. You should really have us out and flush them and check the efficiency on them and make sure they're burning right and all of that.
And a lot of people don't get that maintenance?
No, it's because they're used to water heaters put a water heater in and it lives in your basement until it fails, and you don't do anything with it. The manufacturers recommend flushing them in all. It's not a terrible idea, but I mean, the truth of the matter is most water heaters just sit in the basement and make hot water until they leak or stop making hot water. You know, no one ever pays any attention to them.
Yeah.
And people try to do the same thing with tankless water heaters, and they fail much quicker.
So the other options generally last a little bit longer?
Yeah, for the most part, 10 years is a good rule of thumb on a water heater. The indirects last much longer. Oil-fired usually lasts a little longer. Gas water heaters you get about 15 years out of, and electric water heaters are generally about 10-year water heaters.
All right, some good information right there.
Excellent. Glad I could help.
Why might some people think that they're beneficial? Because obviously people are still getting them installed, even though they seem like not the best option.
On paper, they're great, and some people are getting them installed without ever being asked questions of, you know, how many people are going to use this water heater? Do you have good water? You know, if you have city water and a natural gas source or a propane source already, and there's only maybe 2 people in the house, they're a great option. But most people aren't asked those questions before they purchase one, and then they get it put in. They find, you know, they had bad water, and the whole family wants to use it, and they find that it's not good enough for them.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today, Eric.
No problem.
I definitely learned a lot, and I hope everyone else did.
Very good.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep.